Mojtaba's dark false flag warning echoes after the Diego Garcia scare. The Diego Garcia strike sparks panic, and Tehran's denial only deepens the mystery. Missiles flying 4,000 kilometers raise a chilling question: real reach or staged provocation? From Turkey to Oman to Diego Garcia, the shadow of false flag hangs over every blast. Iran denies, the missiles don't. The West now fears the next unclaimed strike. Hours after Mojtaba Khamenei warned of false flag plots, reports emerged claiming Iran had struck the Diego Garcia base in remote Indian Ocean. Those reports suggested the strategic U.S. UK outpost was targeted by a combination of missiles and drones, in what observers called a dramatic expansion of the war's geography. According to multiple outlets, Iran allegedly fired 2 ballistic missiles toward the Diego Garcia military facility in its latest show of force. Soon after, however, a senior Iranian official told Al Jazeera that Tehran was not responsible for the attack and denied any role in the incident. That denial came as Iran also rejected involvement in earlier strikes in Turkey and Oman, while vowing to continue its fight against what it calls global arrogance. Mojtaba Khamenei said, and I quote, "The attacks against Turkey and Oman, targeting certain locations in these countries, were in no way carried out by the armed forces of the Islamic Republic or the other forces of the resistance front. The attacks against Turkey and Oman, targeting certain locations in these countries, is a ploy by the Zionist enemy to create discord between the Islamic Republic and its neighbours, and it may also occur in some other countries." Unquote. Tehran's denial echoed earlier warnings linked to Mojtaba Khamenei and other Iranian leaders about staged false flag operations. They had cautioned that hostile powers might launch provocations and blame Iran in order to justify a wider escalation. Iranian officials argued that such false flag attacks could be used to drag global attention, and possibly new fronts, into an already dangerous war. Iran launched 2 ballistic missiles toward a joint US-UK military base on March 20th, in a move widely read as a direct message to Washington and London. Officials quoted in Western media say the missiles did not actually strike the Diego Garcia base, instead falling short of the installation itself. Despite that, the attempted strike is being viewed as proof that Iran is now testing the limits of its reach, potentially able to threaten almost the whole of Europe. Diego Garcia, a remote atoll jointly maintained by the United States and the United Kingdom since the 1970s, has long served as a critical launchpad for operations across the broader region. By aiming missiles at this distant Indian Ocean hub, Tehran has effectively signaled a willingness to widen the geographic scope of the Middle East war. Iranian leaders have repeatedly claimed that the country does not possess missile capabilities beyond a range of roughly 2,000 kilometers. However, open-source assessments suggest Iran already fields the largest missile stockpile in the Middle East, with many systems reaching between 1,300 and 2,000 kilometers. That gap between public claims and demonstrated range is now fueling new concerns over what Iran may be developing and holding back from full public view. Israel has claimed that Iran used a long-range ballistic missile in the attempted strike, framing it as a clear bid to project power far beyond the Middle East. That allegation suggests Tehran is no longer just signaling regionally, but testing how far its strategic reach can challenge Western assets. However, US and British assessments later indicated that the missiles failed to hit the Diego Garcia base itself. According to officials, one projectile was intercepted by defensive systems, while the other reportedly malfunctioned before reaching its target. London stressed that the joint US-UK facility on Diego Garcia remained intact and operational despite the attempted attack.
Citizens of Israel, we are concluding the 3rd week of Operation Lion's Roar. I, together with all IDF commanders, feel every day the weight of responsibility on our shoulders and the price you pay in the home front with courage and patience. Unfortunately, we are also experiencing painful civilian losses from missile attacks. Our hearts go out to the deceased, the injured, and their families. The resilience you demonstrate is a critical component of our national strength. Without your steadfast support, our fighters could not operate with such power and determination. The tactical achievements we have made over the past week have already been noted by many in the region. We have conveyed to Egypt an assessment and admiration for Israel's defensive, offensive, and unique intelligence capabilities. They fully understand the scale of the threat and have asked us to focus on eliminating it. The extensive damage we have inflicted on the Iranian regime over the past 3 weeks is beginning to accumulate into a systematic, strategic, military, economic, and governmental achievement. As a result, the regime of evil is weaker. Iran is more exposed and without a significant defensive capability. The regime's leaders, who developed these capabilities with the aim of destroying us, are struck and confused. I wish to thank our partners in the United States military. I am in close, daily contact with them as part of the battle's intensity. The trust between us is high. We share a common target bank, and our military plans are coordinated and synchronized. This strategic partnership with our ally is a point of enormous and unprecedented strength in this campaign. There is a shared interest and commitment to removing the existential threat to Israel, the United States, and the entire region. Just yesterday, Iran launched a two-stage land-based ballistic missile with a range of 4,000 kilometers towards a target on Diego Garcia. These missiles were not intended to strike Israel. Their range reaches European capitals, Berlin, Paris, and Rome, all within direct threat range. We have learned from global and Jewish history that denying a threat or appeasing it does not eliminate it. On the contrary, it projects weakness and encourages extremist regimes. Those who fail to address a threat early will face it later, at their own peril. Holding lethal strategic capabilities in the hands of radical dictatorial regimes is a danger not only to Israel but to the United States and the world it leads. Its vast military defends the entire free world. Alongside our powerful campaign against Iran, we are also conducting determined operations along our northern border. I visited Metula and Kiryat Shmona this morning. I met with local leaders and listened to the challenges they face. Today, I approved Northern Command plans for continued operations. I met with division and brigade commanders. We are all determined to fundamentally change the security reality on the northern border. No more containment. There's initiative. There's aggression. Our forces will act as a shield between the enemy and the communities, and any target that poses a threat will be eliminated. Our operations in Iran are weakening Hezbollah. Hezbollah acts in service of Iran, destroying Lebanon and dragging it into war. The current campaign will advance our strategic goal of dismantling Hezbollah's arsenal. Dear citizens of Israel, we are midway through this effort, but the direction is clear. In about a week, at Passover, the Festival of Freedom, we will continue to fight for our freedom and our future. I met this week with one of our squadron commanders returning from a mission over Iran. He told me that his mother expressed a concern and wished for the war to end. What could be more motherly than that? He replied that if she truly cares for him and his children, it is better for the campaign to continue until we complete the mission for the sake of our future and that of the generations to come. This spirit of mothers and fathers exists in countless homes of service members and their families on the front lines, protecting the home with deep care. You, too, are heroes of Lion's Roar. The IDF continues its broad operational efforts with determination and responsibility. We will lead to victory.